What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a review for you. This is going to be an interesting one. Let's get into what's on the table. So today we have a set of Kizer laconic knives. What is the Kizer laconic? That is their attempt to compete with like the Sencut line from Civivi. So this is going to be definitely under $50 knives all day, every day. So I thought instead of trying to do one at a time, it'd be kind of cool to do them at the same time because I want to do all the normal size comparisons, check in the weight and everything like that. But I want to compare them against one another. So if you're under $50 for your price point, whether it's a beater, a companion knife, one that you're looking for to throw in your pouch, in your backpack organizer, in your car or truck, which one of these would I recommend and why? I thought that would be what we could do today. So let's kick it off with some size comparisons. So I have them in order of price. So the cheapest on the bottom, the most expensive at the top, but they're all under 50, and I thought that would help you guys kind of keep track of it, but they're all within a couple bucks of each other. First, we're going to start with the Para 3 down here on the bottom, and then for a large size comparison, I thought we would go ahead and move my stuff out of the way out of the top here, do the Spyderco Shaman. So you can see here you have a couple of Para 3 comparable knives here, and then you have one that is probably more close in size. I'm going to move it just for the comparison to that Shaman. You get a little bit more of a full-size knife going from the hilt here. We're going to go from the hilt instead of from the pivot, and I think that you can kind of tell. Actually, let's put them in order of size. Let's do that. Let's do that. So you see you got one here under the Para 3. You got one in line with the Para 3. Maybe. Nope. Both of these. This one's a touch smaller. This one has a little bit more length on the. Both of these are smaller than the Para 3 in overall length. Now, as far as blade length, I think when you bring these up, yeah, they're very, very close, very similar. And then when you look at blade length here against the Shaman, sorry, my stuff is everywhere. I would say that these two, bring them down a little bit more so you can see them a little bit more in line. You got a little bit more handle on the Shaman. And then I would say you have just a little bit more cutting edge on the Swedge. And I apologize. Let me introduce these properly too. That way you can kind of keep up while we have this conversation. As far as thickness, all three of these have the same thickness, which is pretty much par for the course for what you see for your budget line. So you have the Amicus, if I'm saying this right. The Amicus, let's go in order of price. Let me reset. All right, so we have the Kizer Yacht. This one here is 9CR18 MOV. I'm looking at my notes just to make sure I don't mess anything up. Coming with a 2.99 inch blade. So 2.99 inches, 9CR18 MOV, G10, liner lock, reversible deep carry pocket clip, fold over deep carry pocket clip. And then we have the Kizer Swedge. This one here, flipper only. This one here coming with a 3.43 inch 9CR18 MOV blade, flipper tab, liner lock, G10, reversible fold over deep carry pocket clip. And then you have, did I mention the price? I don't think I did. The Yacht coming in at $45, the Swedge coming in at $47, and I think that's clearly because you have way more material here. And then the Amicus coming in at $48. These all have 9CR18 MOV. I probably could have saved myself some time there. Is a 2.95 inch button lock knife with a reversible fold over deep carry pocket clip G10 with steel pivot liners. So these are all G10 handles with no steel anywhere but on the pivot. So you have a little bit of steel right here, nowhere else. So that is a little bit different from the two on the bottom. All right, let's run through the weight real quick. I'm going to move them down, and we're going to start with the Amicus. I'm sure I'm messing that up. It might be amicus. But I'm gonna keep saying amicus because that's what I've been doing. And you guys can just let me know in the comment. I know that sometimes pronunciations just aren't my thing. So this one 2.8. So you got a 2 point. Sorry, I got something in my eye. 2.95-inch blade coming in at 2.8 ounces. A really good blade to weight ratio. I'm so sorry. And then let's go ahead and do the yacht next, since it's the next biggest, and I think this one with the full steel liners going all the way down this side of the blade and a solid G10 scale on the outer shell here. This one's probably going to weigh just a little bit more. It feels like it has a little bit more weight to it. What did I say? No, they're the same. This feels heavier. Nope, both 2.8. Awesome weight for a companion carry knife. So I'm guessing this one's got to be around 3 ounces then. It doesn't feel much heavier. 3.5. Wow. How can I not tell the difference there? I wonder if it's because the weight's distributed across the hand further that it doesn't feel heavier to me. But coming in at 3.5 ounces for a 3.43-inch knife. Blade, not a knife. Blade. All right, so again, you got a $48 button lock knife here. You got a $47 longer. I would call this medium to, I would say full size. I'd call it a full size knife. And the reason I say that is because we're getting ready to talk about ergos here. And we'll start with the Swedge because it's the biggest of all of them. So the Swedge is my favorite out of the bunch. And that is because I can get all 4 fingers on here. It's very comfortable ergonomically. It has a really tall flat grind, and it has a black wash blade instead of just a black coated blade. And even if you got the satin, no big deal. I think this is really interesting at 47 bucks. You got a full steel liner, G10 here. You have inset or inserted little screw holes here in the G10 to make sure that you can still strip it, but to try to prevent stripping. Reversible deep carry pocket clip, great lock bar access, very good action. I will say when I got it and unboxed it, it had a little bit of play. I think it still does. Let me just check this. Now this, I noticed the pivot seems to want to move a little bit over here, but when I started to get it seated, I don't think it wants to move now. Oh, this is still on. I thought I cut you off. Cut off scale. I need to conserve the battery. Okay, so no play and really smooth action. And I imagine this is going to break in more as you use it and handle it. The flipper tab is right above the pivot. I know it's angled, so that kind of makes it look like it sits, but the top where it goes into the angle up here, it actually, let me use, this is pretty straight. Let me look at it off camera to make sure I can convey my point. So where the flipper tab stops is right there. So it's right above the pivot, so you end up getting a very satisfying break. It has a good detent. Really smooth action. The G10, as I missed twice in a row, I'm not used to the angled flipper tab. G10, it has texturing, but it's like a weave texturing. So it's really comfortable. I like this one a lot. This is definitely my favorite. Got a good, not a great, but a good sharpening tool plunge grind. You can see it stops. Oh, shoot. Let me use something that's a little bit more sharp. So it stops right there. So that's how much you have left of the blade to sharpen. So you got quite a few sharpenings out of there. So, oh no, I like this one. This is definitely my favorite. Disengagement on it is easy in all facets that I like to cover on my channel, depending on how you deploy the knife. And lockup looks about 30 or 40%. Good lockup. I just like this one a lot. This one's definitely my favorite. We'll move it to the side for just a second. The least favorite on the table is going to be the yacht. And part of my problem is I don't like jade with satin. The main reason that I even bought both variants of this Vivi Vision FG is because of the fact that I like the jade with the black. I wish this was black washed, but even with the black coating, long as it has the black liners and all black hardware, the jade looks better with it than the satin. If you don't like jade, then neither one of these are going to appeal to you. But the black micarta looked really good on the satin blade. But I like the jade better with the black backdrop as opposed to the translucent that you're seeing here. And this is because it just has that steel liner Excuse me. I don't know what's going on here. Just because it has that steel liner, you can kind of see through it a little bit there. Sorry, I'm shining that right in. And then when you get right here where it's relieved for weight, you can really see in there. And then when it just, I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't look good with the satin. The other thing that I really don't like about this one, people, is I don't like that it tries to lock you in. So my fingers, being that I have such large hands, I can't sit anywhere comfortable in here. And I'm just not a huge fan. I also don't like the way that the flipper tab looks on this one. It's very pointy, and they did that to make space to be able to get your finger there and still give you the flipper tab here. And it is in line with the pivot, maybe even a little bit lower, but I would say at least in line. And it doesn't have a very satisfying snap. The brake on the Swedge is way better than it is on the yacht. I don't know, and I don't like this name, the yacht. This is definitely my least favorite. G10's nice and grippy. Access to the lock bar is a little bit tight on this one. Gosh, 9CR 18 MOV. It doesn't carry the flat ground out very far. It's just an okay geometry. I really just don't like this one that much. Access to lock bar is tight. Lock up 40%. Actions okay. Actions okay. And you could probably fail this. Yeah, you could fail this if you cheat a little bit. But if you cheat on this one, I feel like, yeah, it's harder. I'm trying to sincerely cheat on this one, where I put my finger on there and I kind of use that to start. And it's just the type of flipper tab and the location and the detent on there, where on this one, I can lay my finger on there, and then you see what I'm saying? I can try to like ease into the brake. And then as I go further and further. So it's just not as good as the Swedge. Now, if you like the size of this, that's why I saved the Amicus, whichever way you say it, for last, because I like this one a little bit better. You don't have the cutouts. It's very well rounded. You have the same style jimping that you do on the yacht here. It feels grippy, but not aggressive. It is, for me, a three finger. I'm falling off the back. I can't get another finger on there. But they did They put a lanyard hole on this one. So if you want to put a lanyard on a bead and snug it up tight there to have a fourth thing to grip onto, if you have that larger hand, this is an interesting companion carry. Fifth pocket, summer, like I'm thinking wee banter competitor, and pouch, or backpack, something that you just don't want it to take up a lot of space in. Now, the one thing that I noticed with this, and I'll caveat that by saying this is a pass around knife. So I don't know what type of testing it's been through before it got to me. I don't know if it came like this from the factory, but it does have a little bit of lock rock. It is a very subtle amount, and what it feels like when I'm wrenching, when I'm wrenching on it, it feels like, how do I say this? It feels like it has movement without the play. So it feels like it's resting against something that is wiggling internally. So it could be that perhaps the stop pin may not be seated tight enough, or it could be that there may be lube on the lock that is touching where it makes contact with the blade here, but it doesn't feel like it clicks. It just feels like it has movement, but I'm really wrenching on that. And I think people think button locks can't be used hard, and they can. When they're done properly, they can. They absolutely can. No lock rock, no side to side play. And again, I'm wrenching the same way. Very tight grip on the blade and just muscling as much as I can. And I feel fully confident that I could do every EDC task that I wanted to with this knife. And I say that a lot about Civivis and Sencuts because they have done such a fantastic job with their button locks. This one here has a really good location for the flipper tab, like the Swedge, way up high. You can fail it though, but it is a button lock. It doesn't have a detent. But when you actually go to just flip it normal, it comes out there just fine. Did I check it? This one also was loose when I got it. No side to side play. I might have this one a little too tight too. I was moving quickly, so I couldn't properly adjust and tune these. So I will. Oh, I think I moved it too much. Hold on. Nope, no play. Yep, yep, nope. No play. Let me check up and down. No. Oh, now it feels it. Now it's clicking. Not much, but it almost feels like pivot lash tolerance than it does lock rock, if that makes sense. I would say just check these if you get one of these to make sure yours is good, and then if not, contact the retailer immediately and let them know, and then they can send them back to Kizer, and Kizer can check them for the tolerances. I really like the sounds on this one. I love the sounds on this one. So this one here is my second favorite. Out of the three of these, my recommendation would be for the Swedge. If you like Kizer, if Kizer is one of your favorite brands, and you like the thought of spending $50 on a quality item that's seemingly done well, the edge on it's done well. I like 9CR18 MOV. It is a very good daily carry blade because you can use it, and when it starts to dull up, you can strop it right back. It takes a great edge, and it's easy to put the edge on it. It's a fantastic steel for a daily beater that you want to use and you don't care about losing the life, and then when it's done you can just go pick up another one of these. The action's phenomenal. The flipper action's very satisfying. The lock bar on it's good. You got a nice grip. It's full sized. It'd be good for primary. Great gift to give someone that you don't know if they would get into pocket knives, but if you wanted to let them see what a modern non-assisted flipper knife is like, this is going to be a great option. But I wouldn't recommend this knife or any of these knives overall, because you can go over to a competitor, check out a Sencut, and get a D2 blade with aluminum scales, and it's a steel fold over pocket clip, but they take their titanium Civivi pocket clips, which fit perfectly. Nice springy action, goes in and out of the pocket well, doesn't bound up, and it has a button lock instead of a liner lock. Now that's a turnoff if you don't like button locks, and I get that, but they have other knives over at Sencut that I think are done better, and I'm going to get to why here in a second. They also offer D2, which has superior edge retention, but it is potentially more corrosive prone than it is for your 9CR18 MOV, and then they have some knives that they do 9CR18 MOV on. I don't know why they go back and forth. I guess they want to appeal to whatever side of the fence you fall on. I like the Serene here because its aluminum handle makes it really thin in hand, and it feels more premium than what it is. The D2 has really good edge retention. It lasts a long time, and it's, believe it or not, I have in my experience found that it's fairly easy, not as easy as 9CR, to strop and maintain, but you do want your D2 to be more toothy, so you're not going to want to take it down to a polished edge because it'll get slick really quick, and it's going to feel like it's not able to bite into materials that you really want it to bite into to cut. I really feel like polished edge are just about showing off your sharpening skills. For me, I like an edge that is going to bite. I want an edge that's always going to bite, that's not going to be slick, and then the fourth time I strop it, it's going to be shit, and I'm not going to be able to use it. But another reason that I really like these, again, under $50 for this, it feels more premium. Button lock is superior feeling to all the other makers out there. They have the best button locks in the game, hands down, over Kizer, over CJRB, and it's not knocking those brands before you get mad with me. I love their button locks. They're good, but Civivi has dialed it in. Sencut, doesn't matter which one it is. They have just absolutely dialed it in. It has great sounds too. Very clicky clacky. Just love it. Love it. They have no play, no up and down, very solid. And as you just saw a moment ago when I was doing the sounds, right over here, you can just same money. Same money. If that's important to you, got more options for the fidget here. I would grab one of these. Let me know what you think about the laconic line. And if they could figure out a way to do thumb studs on this one, I really like this. This is definitely my favorite and the most recommended out of all the laconics. But there's the yacht, there is the amicus, and the best one of them all, the swedge. What do you think about the laconic line? I think it's very smart at Kizer. I think it's a great way to tap into folks that are going to just be on Amazon saying, show me a pocket knife, $50 and under, and they're going to see this one has like over 4 stars, especially like the swedge. This one, probably not this one. I don't like this one at all. But these two, I bet, are going to be really, really popular in that price point. I think they're going to do really well. What are your thoughts about the laconic line? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, the comments, and that is subscribed to the channel. Come hang out with me on Wednesdays at 6:30. I am live every week now. I love you guys, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.